Okay. I guess we should play some Ironclaw. We came here to do that, so let's do it.
Takes away.
I will begin with a recap, and then we will introduce our characters, and then we'll start, rolling dice, selling things on the black market. So, last session, we arrived in Puku Etima, which is a village of maned wolves. We're on the lookout for one Captain Merryweather's lost pendant, which we've heard good things about, despite never having met Captain Merryweather or seen his pendant. You guys asked around the town, you made some friends, you pissed off some people, but eventually you discovered that the pendant had probably found its way into a neighboring village of Kuka, which are crocodile witches, essentially, who like to mind control. Yes, kitten. So you guys decided to conclude your business at Puku Etima and sail around the island and approach the Kuka village from the water through the jungle so that you would hopefully not be associated with the Puku Etima, just in case they, the Kuka want retribution for your actions. When you got there, you ran into several quite disagreeable and full of themselves Kuka. They did try to mind control you, and pretty much failed at that. You guys made a couple deals. You ended up finding the pendant and stealing it. And once your theft had been discovered, the Kuka gave chase, although one of them lost their head in a well-placed pistol shot.
You're welcome. And that was a fusel shot.
A fusel, sorry. So a well-placed fusel shot overkilled one of these Kuka. It gave you guys a chance to escape back to your ship. And once you were there, you investigated this pendant. It is a circular disc with an opening in the center, several triangular indentations around the perimeter of the disc. One of them is labeled north, and on the back there is a reference to a specific. Well, I don't want to give too much away. Let me see if I have the what it says. It says on the back, inscribed is Dunwasser Exotic Trade Routes. Site A and a date. And this is where I was supposed to look up what year we were playing this in, and I didn't. But 60 years before that date, that's the year.
I mean, as I pointed out, we wouldn't even know what that is. I think the current year vaguely is 890, but don't hold me to that.
Okay, well, maybe I'll do some research. I know that the book does give you like a good starting date to set your adventure in, so I'll look that up. But in any case, you guys decided that without further knowledge of the meaning of this pendant, it was probably worthless to you. However, you also had documents suggesting the location of this Captain Merryweather, who was waiting for the pendant. It seems he was on an expedition to, and I have to look this up because the name is interesting, Inagara, which is about 2 weeks' journey from where you are now. And with luck, perhaps he is still there. So that's our recap. Let's go around and introduce our characters. We can start with Arkloyd.
Hello, I am Arkloyd. I'm playing Abla the Kawahi Kohatu. She is a Purnima, and her personality is stubborn. Her motto is chip away.
All right. And next we've got Griffin.
That's right, I'm Griffin. I'm playing Gaston II, the Ibis Marine and Warlock. His motto is Perfection Incarnate.
All right. We've also got Rafferty.
Hello, world. I'm Rafferty, he, him. Today I'm playing Madame de Fernot, the Pranina Pirate. And my motto is Liberty, Equality, Camaraderie.
And we also have Theta.
Playing Commodore Cow, Kangaroo Sealot Warrior. Personality is optimistic. Motto is if I die trying, then at least I tried.
All right. And a very helpful Ark posted an excerpt from the Salomer calendar. I'm just looking at this now because I want to know. Begins the marking.
The people of Triskelion usually mark time from the miracle, and it's been about 900 years since the miracle of Heloise.
Gotcha. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that this date...
What year is it? The Anu calendar.
That's
So
also if you subscribe to that dating system, because every culture has their own dating system.
The Heliotromancer's calendar. You know, the worship of Anu. Well, I guess you worship a lot more than just Anu, though. There's tiers. Anu just happens to be the highest tier.
Traditionally, most places would mark their time by who the leader was. They would say, like, you know, the first year of the reign of Henry the First to the 5th year. And so you'd have to, like, in order to make any sense of any records, you'd have to go through them and find out. You'd have to have one list of the regents and what order they reigned, and then you'd have to have another list over here. And yeah, that might drive you crazy after a while.
I only brought up Anu because they were the primary form of worship in that region of the world before the miracle. So,
and they would definitely mark time that way in terms of who was king. Which I guess, since every sect of heliodromes think they're the king, that must be hilarious. Imagine Time Cube, but with poor editing and quality control.
Yep. Well, okay, so the official inscription now. I might as well just copy this into the chat for reference. But Dunwasser exotic trade route, Site A, 860 après le miracle. Miracle, my French is non-existent, so you're just going to have to roll with that. But essentially, yes, it's dated roughly 60 years prior to the current date, at least by the Alumer calendar, which is
the only
apparently...
one of us who knows that is Gaston, because he's the only one from Triskelion.
This is true.
And now I have to explain it to all of you. Not like I'm doing that.
And I'll just nod and say, so it's some colonialist bullshit. Gotcha.
Colonialist bullshit. Indeed.
See, you understood it instantly. That's why I didn't bother explaining.
I am pretty great.
Tatunga is a great name for a place, and
We're doing the opposite of exposition dumps.
I know, yeah.
Everyone already knows about all this. Let's keep going.
Well,
Let's
I mean,
just
that's the
keep going.
writing contrivance they always hate, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
As you already know.
As you already know.
It goes
Why
without
are you
saying,
me?
But let me say it.
I mean, it's some colonialist bullshit. Look, is this going to make us any money, or is it going to get any more colonials here? If it makes us money, I'm kind of in favor of it. If it gets more colonials here, I'm against it.
Well, I have the feeling this may be valuable. We can always extort some money out of it.
Did you do you want to give me, madam, a mind roll?
Mind
smart
it
the madam
is a
is?
skill that goes. I have academics, you know. I'm
Oh,
very
then
well
yeah,
read.
then yes, please. Mind and academics. We can do that.
It's a D4, but it rolled a success.
Okay.
My favorite use does not apply.
All right. What was your favorite use for academics?
I always pick medicine.
It's medicine.
I always build a character who can stop you from bleeding to death.
Smart. Okay. Well, yeah. So, with one success, you look at this thing, and even though you can't make heads or tails out of the inscriptions on it, it does look like a widget used for navigation, potentially for navigation to treasure. So, yeah. If there's any
magnetic?
It is not magnetic. It is a fairly simple hunk of metal.
Right, but apparently, if you were to look at these landmarks and follow certain, I mean, I know the fundamentals of navigation. I'm a pirate, after all.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks like colonialist bullshit. So I'm going to hand it back to Gaston. It's like
it certainly is colonialist bullshit. This is true, and I guess what I'll say is that just to specify, it looks like it's not the kind of thing where you would lining it up with like a horizon line might have been your first guess, but because of the arrangement of these indentations, you think it's probably more likely paired with a map of some kind. That's what your academics roll will get you.
Especially because it's got a hole in it. So this might be a map to a secret enclave of colonialists. We need to find them.
And we have to find Merryweather, steal the map, and then go steal all of their treasure. Perfect.
That's the best idea you've had all day. I
can think of nothing better than to steal from my very homeland.
I'm going to go cut slow matches to very precise lengths so I can put them in my hair.
I don't really...
What's a slow match?
That's what they used to use for cannon and for matchlock pistols.
Right. There's slow fuses, or slow match, which burns slowly, and then there's fast, which burns quickly, depending on whether you want the cannon to go off now or later. And
right.
Blackbeard was famous for putting in his hair, like just putting a bunch of slow matches in his hair and beard, just lighting them.
Right.
I'm so scary.
That's pretty cool. Okay. Alrighty then. So, so what do you guys want to do? There was some discussion last time.
I thought we went over this.
Oh, well, we want to kill colonials, but there's no colonials in presence right now. So what's your second...
We also want to make money.
Find the colonials.
To refresh us on what we were last thinking, I think part of the plan was we were going to go from our island, and we were going to island hop around here a little bit until we got to Anagra, because along the way, we wanted to try dumping some goods for money.
And to that end, I actually did prep this week, and my prep included making a table of rollable port names and imports and exports and other important details. And to that end, I'm ready to roll some random ports up. So, I would say the first stop on your voyage would probably be around here. This is a pretty sizable island. Although it is kind of still out in the middle of nowhere. I consider like this area the middle of nowhere on this map.
So I'm still technically the negotiator, I think.
Step aside, I can handle on negotiation.
Well, I will go ahead and give you the D12 assistance then.
These are my people. I know how to talk to the common people. Say, with my head on fire.
With your head on fire.
Congratulations, you can take an extra D12.
Excellent. All right.
They're managing your books.
Are we selling legal stuff or contraband?
Well, totally legal obsidian.
All right. So this is mind and negotiation.
This is, more specifically, mind, will, gossip, negotiation.
Oh, I think I have gossip. Let me check.
Gossip could help out. Obviously, cosmetology and diplomacy, haggling, insider, language, local knowledge, and the assistants all apply.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Perfect. You're well on your way to becoming the best merchant on these seas.
One success.
Nice. Okay.
Congratulations. We can get a reasonable price probably for something. So, forged metals and exports precious stones. Our cargo is primarily obsidian.
Am I not a reasonable person?
Definitely not.
Am I not a reasonable? Yeah. We're gonna call this. That's a cool name. We're also gonna change. Oh.
Port Killingzee.
Port Killingzee. Yeah. It was a random name generator, but I kind of liked it. So
you see, everyone kept dying trying to get into this harbor, so we just thought we'd name it threateningly so they would stop.
It's the next step after Battersea. We all saw it coming. Okay, so in other words, they export precious stones, so they don't want the freaking obsidian. We don't have metal, do we?
We do have a ton of gold and silver.
No, I'm forged. We don't have forged metal. So everything we're buying and selling is so anything we want to buy is neutral, and anything we want to sell them, they don't want.
Right. So this port would be a pass longer way.
Okay, so we probably don't want to unload anything here. And
They also don't have a lot of they also don't have a lot of buying power. They're kind of a little spit of a place in the middle of the
You
ocean.
show up and say, "We love to have some guns. We'll give you gold for guns." It's like, we kind of like our guns.
We wish we had some, says Gaston with 6 on his back.
How do you have 6 guns?
I stole some from the cargo back at the beginning adventure.
Gotta call that a result. I guess we'll just stop and like be at liberty, and we're good for crew, right?
Oh, we're plenty good for crew.
You guys are staffed up.
The ships are built the way we want. We don't have any auspices yet, do we?
Yes, we do. The Lawson's Folly now has an auspice.
All right. How many ships do we have?
3.
3.
The Lawson's Folly, Cow's Pride, and the Unfortunate.
And the Unfortunate. Which one am I captaining?
The Lawson's Folly.
All right, which has the auspice. So I'm stuck with you then.
That's right.
It's fun. It's fun. So we show up, ask around, discover we'll get terrible prices. I guess get the crew liquored up and then get back on the boat and get out of here. Port Killing Sea just looks like another fly by night. It's what a town.
It's a small town. It's not very big.
This is definitely was some locals. This is like some stupid pirate town. In other words, it's full of colonial. Fuck you, colonial.
Fuck you, colonials.
So we stop for a second, get like some extra barrels of water, and then we move along.
Yeah.
Unless we wanted to raid them. Certainly, we want to cause trouble out in this area, right?
How good are we on Marines?
Hey, I just want to point out that I don't think that's something we're doing. An element that may not have been spoken in our recap is that also Merryweather is on the move, or is going to be moving, and that we have a time frame to try and even catch up. So, we're slowing ourselves down with this trade, but it's necessary, while at the same time, don't have time to spare.
Well, it's not like we're staying the whole week here.
No, I'm talking about raiding and stuff like that.
In terms of raiding.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, a raid would be a big deal. No, we're just here for the day. I mean, we just show up, ask, and they say, yeah, we're willing to trade gold for guns. Like, well, we have gold.
Just so you know, our raiding potential is currently 5 elite marines, 5 militia, and then us.
Yeah, we would. This is too big. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So the next stop, again, this chain archipelago. This chain of islands is riddled with small stops here and there.
Yeah, I mean, there are islands that would be considerable that don't even show up here, because look at the scale of this map. Like this.
Yes.
From here to here would be like 9 square. Like Calabria would fit in an area this. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. Would fit in an area.
I think you said about like 5 times the size of Pukutima, so like roughly like this.
Yeah, so from here to here would be all of Calabria. So these islands are huge. There are lots of tiny, tiny islands. Did anyone play Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Am I the only one who played that?
I never got a chance to, unfortunately.
Okay, there are so many tiny islands on that map.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the cartoon desert islands that are out here. You know, the ones that are just a sandbar with a tree on it?
Yeah, the sandbars. The classics.
Which means this doesn't come up a lot, but you're running into like dolphins and orcas who will show up and say make obscene gestures at you. And also we'll often probably run into seagulls too. We're just hanging around chilling.
Just you like turn your head, you see Gaston talking with some seagulls, and then all the seagulls just scatter.
Yeah, well, they'll show up and say, hey, you want to buy some shells? They're from the bottom of the ocean. They're rare. It's like, those aren't rare. You get those in any part of the ocean. Not like these.
They come from that mysterious island that sunk 100 years ago.
And meanwhile, while they're talking to you, someone's over there trying to steal our rum. Shh, keep me busy. Hey, you stupid seagulls trying to steal our rum. Distracting us from the dolphins.
Shoo. You gotta have like a long pointed stick on board just to like poke away the seagulls that come.
Dolphins under the ship
right.
with their little turn drills.
So this town has a buying power of 40 dinar. I'm not sure that they're within our market, but we could definitely get a bunch of cheap timber off of them.
Yes, actually, buying timber would be awesome. How much cargo space do we have?
A lot.
All right. See, by the way, you figured out I don't have any dice in this yet.
Indeed, I have. I should go ahead and take the lead again then?
Would you like me?
Not that I'm much better.
Would you like me to assist you with my 1 in 6 chance of completing?
Yes, please. Give it a shot. Not today.
I am
Today.
completely ruining it. You don't know how to talk to the common folk, you with your big highfalutin words and Calabrese accent. You're not like me.
Well, I remember actually say hello and repeat their name back to them later.
What's the point of that?
And see, this is why I'm in charge now.
But we have a common bond of camaraderie because we are all equal in our struggle against the colonialists. You know, like you.
So they are exporting timber, and we have 2 successes. We can buy it for 100% price. Is that correct?
They are exporting timber. It's true. Average timber, but yes, they have a selling power of 240 dinar. I didn't post that up there, but it's on there now.
Right. Let's see. Selling power. Which one did we need for figuring out how much timber we can buy? What type of timber is this? Cheap, average, expensive?
It's average timber. Average timber.
And I presume this is common timber, so 500 denarii per.
Yeah.
And like I said, with 2 successes, we can get it for at price, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, so at price 250 for 500. How much gold do we have? How much do we want? I believe we still have something to the tune of 7,000 here. Yeah, we still have 7,000 to hold. How much timber do we want?
You guys, I don't know.
Rafferty, you are actually muted right now.
I say we buy 1 ton.
Okay, we will buy 1 ton. Now we have to do
Which is essentially buying them out.
1 ton.
Yep.
Average. Common. Boop. There we go. Well, we now have some extra timber, and if we ever need the excuse for how are we repairing all of this, we have it.
That's the other reason why I said we should buy them.
It's a good thing that we still have a whole bunch from trading off, but, well, yeah, we've completely bought them out, and they are probably very happy to have an influx of gold, which will definitely skyrocket their entire economy with inflation.
Sure hope you guys don't need wood for anything else.
Okay, so we're continuing upwards. There's a place you guys probably want to hit called Coconut Wharf. This place actually has some serious buying power and selling power. So these guys, their imports are quarried stone. Their exports are also average timber. They have a buying power of 400 denarii and a selling power of 2,400 denarii. Did I say export?
Do we have stone?
No. We have obsidian.
We could probably just cruise in and out of here then, unless we wanted to unload something.
We could always just dump some obsidian on them for whatever cash it's worth.
It would be neutral.
Again, this is still the transition from the ill-gotten goods we initially started with to the obsidian to finally getting to cash out.
True, but we also, since we have 3 ships and viable crew, I mean, like I'm going, like we're not hurting for cargo space, right?
Correct.
Right. So
we are barely full.
My logic is that if we can't, I mean, we're not hurting for cargo space and we're not getting good prices. We're not hurting for anything. We shouldn't start unloading until we have to. I'm that kind of person where, look, I mean, we're not full yet, so
right.
And no one here, everyone, you know, I said we should buy the timber because that's useful because we would need it.
And we already did, so
Yeah, and also I'm not surprised that this place sells the other kind of stuff. But apparently, Coconut has, apparently, hey guys, we found some rocks up in the hills, and it turns out they're square. Would you like to buy a fort? Yeah, so that's my 2 cents. It's like we're not hurting, and it's not anything we.
All right. Well, I think we might have one more port along the way if that island counts for anything. At which point we're just a big bunch of open sea.
How many days?
Yes.
At this point, we'll say like this part of the journey is probably the first week and change, and then the open sea is going to be the next week.
Yeah, we put text in the book. It says about 30 leagues a day is what you can expect if everything's going good.
Smooth.
Yeah, so it's 20-day journey here, ish.
It just feels good to make landfall, especially because we all have sea legs now, right? You all know how to sail?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I think we all started with that.
Well, I did.
Imports opium. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, finally. Oh, there we go.
Finally getting a little more. These guys run some nice
we had some
leisure houses.
I'm guessing there's probably more than one junk in the harbor here. Exporting cultural artifacts. Okay, I'm sort of opposed to buying those.
Sort of on a philosophical level.
It's a shame because I have streetwise, so I can traffic in illegal stuff.
True.
Just
but right
not
now we
that
have
illegal.
nothing else illegal. If we just go without it, we won't have to worry about anything for a minute.
This is everything I hate. It's like, hello, we're willing to sell you all of our cultural heritage in return
for drugs. Yep. Pretty much.
This is what opium does to you, everybody.
We should burn this place to the ground.
As I start, putting the mini balls in my fusil. So, where does the mayor live?
Yep. Yeah. The mayor is definitely like a Dario.
We need to do a deal right now. If we come across the exporter for opium, we got to raid them for the opium.
Well, make a note of this place. We'll come back.
Feels like one of those situations where your random controller created a scenario with which a campaign could have arose.
Nope.
This is a problem, guys. I mean, it's just implied, but
I'll make a note.
Yeah, make a note. We'll come back here and raid this town. But you're right. We're in a hurry to find your Merryweather. So
it's open seas until then.
Try not to sell your entire culture while we're gone. I say seething with egalitarian rage.
My grandmother's ashes must be worth at least one pipe.
We found these mummies.
That is terrible. These sacred corpses, you can have them.
Yeah, you laugh, but it's like, hey, we raided our graveyard, so you have these bones. Like burned mummies and stuff.
We swear they're full of mystical power.
Ooh, because they're dead foreigners. Ooh, it's like stupid colonials.
Right. Okay. All right. So after many days of travel and some trade,
just to check in,
mm-hmm.
Did we end our trade portion with less money than we started?
Correct.
Awesome.
And more cargo.
Yeah, we bought a ton of timber at basically market rate, and then I just thought that would be a good idea.
No. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
That the brains on our ship that the boffins on our ship were really working 100%.
This is why I'm going to A, hold on to some local knowledges, and B, try to get negotiation eventually.
Nobody's buying anything that we're willing to do, unless we're willing to traffic in cultural artifacts, which I'm not.
It's not my culture.
That's colonialist talk. It's all your culture.
No.
We are all one
We
people.
all come from different islands. We're all different peoples.
We're all just one people.
It's a giant melting pot of the ocean.
Ooh. When you talk about the ocean that way, it has weirder connotations, the whole melting pot imagery. Anyway.
Look, those dolphins and sharks and fish, they all fucking die down there. It is
so
a giant
gross.
melting pot.
They're peeing in the water.
And they're drinking it, and then
That's foul.
their graveyards are down there too.
We also have graveyards, but we don't pee in them.
Unless you really, really don't like that person.
I just feel messed up.
You want Aswangs? Because this is how you get Aswang.
And this is why you can never trust a dolphin.
Or
I've
revenants.
been saying it for years. We have graveyards. We don't pee in them.
This is not a curve. Please note there is no pee in it.
I mean, unfortunately, when you live in the ocean, you have no choice but to pee everywhere, which is everywhere.
Yeah.
You technically pee in your kitchen.
Oh.
Is there a more embarrassing way to die than peeing over the edge of the boat, falling in the water, drowning?
That is pretty bad. Alrighty then. Let's see how the weather is. Let me roll another die. Jajum. Smooth sailing. Congratulations. All right.
Hooray.
So you guys, after this extended period of making port, stepping off onto many different islands and meeting many different types of people, many different dialects, collecting some nice wood. Not great wood, but nice wood. You have an extended voyage across the southern, the seas towards the Southern Isles. Luckily you make it with mostly smooth sailing to the, well, I don't know if this whole island has a name, but you have heard rumors of Inagara, this strange desert culture. And once you make it up here, you have a sort of, well, rough discovery. As you can see, there are some smaller islands here. There are places where you can make berth with your ship quite easily. However, the mainland is a palisade of red, jagged rock.
Yeah, I'm guessing they just piled rocks on top of rocks.
I'm not that kind of palisade. I mean like a cliff face, essentially. The actual ruins of Inagara are towering high in the sky above you. For those of you with wings, this is not a problem. For everyone else in the crew, though, it looks like it would be probably the better part of a day to scale up the side of this cliff face. You also see no ships in evidence on these. And there may be like some smaller fishing boats around here. There are some communities on these small islands next to it, but there doesn't seem like any of the ships that you would expect to be part of Merryweather's crew here.
Okay, well, we don't have to think that we could get a dispatch. Who are the locals here?
The locals, I guess you would probably through rumor know that the locals are mostly reptiles, frilled lizards, nomads that live and wander across the deserts.
And also, I was like wondering, it's like, all I can do is climb the cliff. Like, don't you have sticky prehensile feet?
Yeah, maybe they do.
Well,
side of the wall.
I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah.
Some of us have low centers of gravity. Perininas, we wobble, but we don't fall down.
Yeah, I imagine going around would probably be even longer and more arduous here.
It's just a cliff. We can just climb it.
Climbing the cliff?
You guys actually have climbing ability, don't you?
Climbing will help you here if you have it. No.
I mean, climbing would help us here if we had it, but no. We're Perininas. We specialize in not being there, and also being scary.
There you go.
Oh, and we'll eat almost anything.
Oh.
What's that, Red?
That's offensive to the things that you won't eat. Can you give me a mind and a weather sense roll?
Boy. Weather sense. Actually, rolling weather sense. Let's do it.
I know, right? You never get to use weather sense, but I think this is one of the rare cases where it's not a fly check, but I do think it applies.
1 success.
1 success. Okay. Just through basically looking at this rock face, you can tell that near the bottom should be fine, but about halfway up, you're going to start to encounter some pretty tough winds, some really sharp winds. Climbing without some sort of gear or climbing, like free climbing, very unadvisable. But even with ropes and things, it's going to be a difficult one. And the stakes could be high for those who don't have wings.
Okay, well then it sounds to me like we can't make landfall here because even though I was willing to give it the college try, I don't have any climbing. I would be doing this completely untrained. Maybe we should ask the locals in their fishing boats where weird sailors like us could find purchase.
Sounds like gossip to me.
Okay.
You sound like the best person to go talk to people.
Of course. I have a way with the common folk. Hey, you! Where can we put our ship filled with cannons and ill-gotten gains? We're not here to kill you.
We're champions of people like you. Who are you, by the way?
Hey, I got 1 success.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I have a bonus die if there's any criminals to talk to.
You don't come across anyone identifying as criminals. You come across a bunch of honest fisherfolk.
Honest fisherfolk.
The honest fisherfolk are, well, they're happy to see you. They regard you sort of inquisitively. It's hard to tell how many Perenina they have seen in their lifetime. But they don't.
One. See?
They've seen two in one day. So yeah, so these guys are happy to talk to you, although it's kind of hard to make out exactly what they're saying. They do speak the Tradewinds Pidgin, but they speak it with some serious accents and many words that you don't recognize.
Oh well, no, we'll guys drop a boat. We'll row over there. I don't have any problem doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll just grab 2 Marines. You guys, come on, let's go.
It takes It takes a few hours and a bunch of conversations, but eventually you figure out that it seems...
We show up, offer a gift, say, hey, we're here.
There you go. They give you some fish in return, but you also finally get... The best you can make out is that nobody climbs the cliffs. That's crazy. If you sail around, most people make port at the docks near Mandawarinita.
Mandarinta, which is at least a day. Yeah, Mandarinta, which is at least a day away from here. But on the other hand, we are looking for Merryweather, so I would suggest that we should just go around and go land at Mandarinta.
I guess here's a random question of the fisherfolk. If perhaps another foreigner, perhaps one identifying as Bisclave, has happened to be in their village right now, or passed by recently.
We're looking for some foreigners. They talk like this guy. Sorry, I couldn't keep him from showing up. He can fly. They have his accent. Blue would have looked like me, but uglier.
That's pretty funny. Okay.
I know they would like just look at each other. Now. Well, pretty much you're all covered in hair and feathers, so y'all look pretty weird to us.
You do manage to find one fisherman who recognizes the Bisclave markings, and from hand gestures, he seems to indicate that there was a rather large captain wearing the colors that you specified, who came asking for directions, who seemed very interested in the ruins at Inagara, and he was warned off, but they told him basically the same things they told you, that if you wanted to make port, Mandarinita, yeah. Rinta. I'm gonna mess that up.
The mystery about the word blue, right?
No.
That many cultures don't really have a word for blue.
Oh yeah.
Like discriminating between green and blue can be a big to-do, especially here in the Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
It's kind of why like Japan, all the animes are like Blue Gender or Blue Requiem or whatever, because blue is special color because it's so weird. But
Well, I'll tell you.
So describing the Bisclave who wear blue outfits is probably a big deal.
That probably takes a lot of and I have heard this.
Explaining green versus blue.
They suggest that maybe there's like it could have to do with like sight color ranges, but also if you want to know something else that's interesting about Japanese, this is a personal theory of mine as someone who studied the language for a while. It's funny because they do have words for green and blue. The word for see if I'm gonna get this right. The word for blue is a natural adjective, and the word for green is not. It's got the hallmarks of a word that was added later to the language.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which is why.
Oh, and of course you have like all the old Homeric language too of like wine dark sea. It's like it's purple. You're going for purple.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
And also this is a furry game, so the mirror I can try and describe colors could be weird because lizards will have different eyeballs than mammals will.
Right. Already we have cultural expectations and understandings of colors, individual understandings. Rafferty can probably name out 500 and I can name 3. And then we have people who actually see things differently.
But see, I speak the comic books. Once we narrow it down to obnoxious foreigner, it's like, well, which obnoxious foreigner? This would have been Harry. Well, you're all Harry. No, Harry.
Lots and lots of hair. They do seem to emphasize that there was a lot of hair in the head region.
Hair and teeth, like me, but uglier. And like, okay. So yeah, I'll just look at Gaston and say, okay, like he probably, if he landed here, we would see his crumpled body is fallen at the foot of the cliff. He probably landed at Mandarinta. Let's go around.
They also might have better records of where he's gone afterwards too.
We might be able to gossip better at Mandarinta. So yeah, so we'll row back and just say, okay, set sail for Mandarinta, which is just we can't miss it. Just keep the island on your lap.
No need to perish today.
And also what's good news is, okay, well, this place was unlandable. It also sounds like there's not a lot of pirate activity because we had problems back in Gangao where we ran into... we're so far away from Paranther territory.
There's not a lot of pirate activity yet.
Yeah, well,
you guys just showed up.
I'm not forgetting.
You can help this article by expanding it.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Great. Okay. Let me pull up Mandarinta. Because it is it is actually like the Grand Bazaar. Mandarinta. All right. And the description for Mandarinta is like a huge, a huge piece of lore. So actually, this is not that useful to read through. But essentially,
it's pretty much equal to, I mean, like the Calabria, Anatolia, and Zhangao routes. Like it's far enough away from all three of them that you can get a good intersection because many of the ships when they're coming in would probably stop here. And many of them are probably taking the long way around because nobody wants to go through Faranther.
Yeah, probably not. Exactly. You want to avoid the Bridgeal Seas at all cost.
That, and also I think the climate here is a bit more hospitable. I mean, you can see this forest, and I think they have good resources. What do they import and export here?
Oh, yeah. What do they? Let's see. So the exports are fish and precious stones that are expensive and rare. The imports are cultural artifacts. Should have bought some when you had the chance. Firearms and gunpowder, and timber. Average timber. So there you go.
And once again, that also implies this is a big Nexus port city that they import. This is the place that they're buying all the local cultural artifacts and then shipping them out to the other places. So
right. Yeah. Yes.
So but we should, but we're not going to.
We do have a few cultural artifacts if you count Mir.
That's right. I mean, you do have.
We're on the tail of an archaeologist, after all.
Nope. You mean a colonial suppressor?
Potato.
Why are you just repeating what I said?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You use all those big words. We just assumed you were a wizard because you use these big words and you talk like you know what they mean. That's what a wizard is, right?
Right.
Oh, I just pretend I know what they mean. I don't know either.
The thing I never understood about Indiana Jones is in the first movie, he's all like, this belongs in the museum. In the second movie, it's all fortune and glory, short round.
Well, this one of the museum's actually from the second movie. Oh, no, it's from the third movie. All right, moving on. If we see an arc. All right, so yeah, we'll make Fall of Mandarin. And Mandarinta probably looks a lot more like what you guys think of Tortuga pirate place looks like. It's probably a horrible mishmash of shanty towns and favelas with there'll be an Acoma domed structure over there, Zhongao with big long slabs, some weird Calabrese place with arches and flying buttresses. I mean, it's like just nonsense.
What was the capital of the Mongol Empire again?
Of the what?
Mongol Empire.
Oh, no, there's no Mongol Empire in Ironclaw.
No, I know. I wouldn't call it the Mongol Empire if I was talking about a fictional place.
Okay,
What about the real world?
I don't know. It's not Xanadu.
I'm just thinking, because back then, anybody that was part of the Mongol Empire would have a place there, and it would be like a representation of their, within an urt, obviously.
An embassy.
Yeah.
Like an embassy, yeah.
But I'm sure there's this is everything I hate. Like, this is just a monument to colonialism, where they're just buying up people's stuff and selling them off to rich people so they can gawk at them in their bathrooms.
But look, they're all here living in harmony, and then there's like a window crash and like 3 people getting thrown out. So peaceful here.
And then the militia show up and shoot people out indiscriminately in the street, like a Boston massacre.
Anyway, that's why I brought it up, because the Mongol version of that would be peaceful. Ironically, Sakazone, what that what you think of?
Nothing more peaceful than a dead body.
Well, we're a while away from Zlongao right now.
Well, because it was so successful and everything is what led to its downfall, because, it wasn't established to last a long time because they were wandering people. So it's what killed them.
Okay, but basically we want to make landfall, and I guess we want... we don't have any repairs, so we'll just go ahead and move here. I guess we'll leave the crew. We'll pick some people to say, okay, you guys are at liberty, you guys stay on the boat, and,
we should at least start with the gossip around town, where we want to ask, hey, is a Merryweather here right now, or have they left recently?
Right, we'll go gossip. Do we want to split up in teams for that?
Yeah, sure. Let's just all go around town.
I'm Team Crime. Who wants to be on Team Crime?
Team Crime.
We're all Team Crime.
Well, do you have streetwise?
No, it just means we're all criminals. We're all Team Crime.
Well,
more the question, do you want to assist Madame Furneaux?
Okay, so...
I've got no skills available. It doesn't matter where I'm at.
Well, let's look at the social skills that we do have. Does anyone have etiquette?
No.
Who's got cosmopolitan?
Nobody yet.
And no one has wealth, and no one has nobility.
Nope.
Right.
Okay, we're all Team Crime.
All Team Crime.
The only thing we have going for us.
Well, I have streetwise, so I can talk to criminals.
Exactly.
Assuming that any of them saw Merryweather. So maybe we should just go ahead. Who actually has gossip as a skill?
Nobody still, I think.
Oh my god.
Absolutely nobody.
Then everybody assist me. I'm in charge.
I will give it a shot. I have done the opposite of helping you.
You have a personality gift. You better tap it, or I'll tap you.
Under threat. Congratulations, you get a D12 bonus.
Thank you. What about the rest of you? See, Abla understands the common people.
I think they're just trying to buy her.
Look, I made a new friend. Yeah, they keep using words that imply...
That would increase your hourly rate.
Wow.
Exactly, yes.
I didn't know we could get away with that. Wait, no, that's colonialism commodifying here. What about you, Commodore?
I told you I have no skills available to help you.
Yeah,
They
doesn't
refuse
mean
to
you can't
assist.
try. Come on.
Does it mean you can't try?
You gotta meet the people, talk to them.
I'm sorry, okay, you want me to fail you. You want me to give you a 1 and cause us all to fail.
No, I want you to follow your personality.
No.
All right. The Commodore
I
abstained.
keep saving this. Oh, okay.
And I rolled
Wow.
a 1 success. Thank you, Abla. Apparently, the people who wanted to buy Abla might know something. This would get us 1 success. This is something any idiot could get off of the street. And I'm not just any idiot.
No, you're an idiot with a team. So I'm gonna give you some freebies, and I'm gonna give you what your 1 success does. So the freebies, because you guys are correct, this is a hodgepodge, multi-culty wonderland of different individuals trading and fighting, and well, okay, so fighting. So there is a native population here that does seem to strive to keep some sort of order and has laid down basic rules. You know, everyone has their corner. Everyone's got their like protected spaces. And generally speaking, it seems like the fighting isn't happening in the streets out in the open. You can tell that tensions do run high here from time to time, but these things are taken care of in more subtle ways and oftentimes back on the ships that crowd the harbor. The only other rule that seems to be enforced pretty strongly is no religion. You don't know why, but apparently there's no... it's weird to see like ships from... Triskelion ships from the Bisclavre don't have any of their, or these people don't have any like religious iconography showing on their person as they're doing their trade or on their like signage.
Not that weird in this time period, because the idea that you could have whose kingdom his religion. Well, anyway. Yeah, so it's not that weird to say only the local religion can be established. It's a little weird that they've held off the colonials this
long. The weird thing too is that it's not, well, in this case there is no local religion, it appears. There doesn't seem to be any. There's some like local like native art, there's statues and things. There's like statues of serpents and lizards. Striking heroic poses and things, but it's hard to tell. It doesn't seem like they're revered as religious figures. And whenever asked, people are just like, yeah, no, we don't. There's no worship here. This is not something you
could
do.
Be devil posts too. They're supposed to keep away the religion.
Maybe
we painted these ugly faces to keep away religion. I need you. I must paint you. Wait, what? Why?
Yours is a face that could scare away the gods.
Thanks.
Okay. So, when asking about...
anyone's ever said to
me. No gods, no masters. All right.
Only Tasmanian devils.
That reminds me, there's another RPG. There's a diceless system that I've wanted to try out called No Gods, No Masters, I think. And there's a game that I want, but we'll sideline the RPG talk for a second so that we can play our RPG. What you get with your 1 success. You hear whispers that yes, or you hear people say that like, yes, there was a Bisclavre crew that pulled up here a while ago, multiple weeks ago, possibly more than a month ago, right? No one can tell you where their ship is in the once again very crowded port harbor area, and no one can point you towards where they are if they are in fact in town. Although you do get a lead on an individual who runs a gambling house that might have more information for you. Apparently,
like the worst kind of colonialism.
So not only is
no
our
winning
fool
with you.
Meriwether a drunk who goes out into the woods to lose everything on his person, he's also the type to lose it all in a gambling hall.
Seems like a fun guy, right?
I'm new to this expedition, but why are you looking for this asshole again?
Because we want his stuff at this point, I think. Everyone gets a piece of it. Why not us?
Oh, he has stuff that you want.
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand that.
Okay. So yes. So you get directions to this gambling hall, gambling den. It's a large it's a very large tent. We're gonna figure out who's running it. But yeah, apparently he ingratiated himself with the proprietors of that establishment, and you can go ask there for more intel. Doobadoo, D100, ka-chow. A 90, a 3.
And then Merryweather's assassins pop up to die with notes exactly about his whereabouts.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so our lead is the gambling hall. That's all we got. I say we just go ahead and take it.
Yes. Who wants to lead this expedition into the gambling hall? I mean, you guys can all go, of course.
Well, we do have our local criminal mastermind.
I don't know about mastermind. I do have a face that frightens God.
Well, I only mean mastermind in the sense that I will be selling you out if we get captured. Not Abla. Abla's innocent.
Abla doesn't talk much.
We've established the line of your morality. I would sell for no, but not Abla.
I mean, Abla is the only one of us that has a shipborne career.
I'm a Marine.
I'm a Marine.
Yeah, which means that you're the most replaceable. Abla can repair the ship.
I can repair the ship.
I can control the ship with the magic of my mind.
So long as we build one special station that allows you to do that.
I'm worth like 20 people.
You're not worth one Abla.
13 marks and points. I have craft.
I haven't seen you below deck repairing the ship with Abla.
Because
you're not worth one Abla.
I haven't seen you below deck repairing anything.
I never claimed to be able to do so.
Right, so yeah, no, we're shipboard people. We got sea legs. We got bona fides.
Stop trying to sell yourself up to Abla's level.
So we got a bunch of salty pirates arguing with each other entering the gambling hall.
Let's go to the gambling den if I'm lucky you guys get ship.
Okay. You guys enter into the large, circus-like tent. The air in here is thick with a mingling cloud of various smokes. You've got tobacco smells and scented hookah smells and the distinct smells of opium, all intermingling. You've got a lot of sailors of every single species and dress imaginable, huddled in circles around these pits, essentially. There are dice games, there are card games, people are betting on arm wrestling competitions and just regular wrestling competitions. It is a circus in here of noise, of money changing hands, and at the center of it all, weaving between these things, poking his snout in and among these various betting circles, you can see you are directed towards the proprietor, who is a tiny vole who needs a name. This is why you should always have your gamble and no, bad. We can do better than that. Fantasy names. I'll just take that's a pretty cool bounty hunter names. That is so stupid. Why did I click on that? Okay, Void, please.
Yes, my favorite character,
Real names.
Null Void Exception.
Okay.
Have you seen my new synth, Error 404?
We can never get him to answer anything.
Ooh, I like this. Okay.
My next character, this is not a paywall.
Okay. There we go. Lemuel, colloquially known as the knife, the tiny. What's going on?
He sounds quite trustworthy.
Quite trustworthy. Well, he's small in stature, but you realize that anyone that can keep this operation going without turning into just the city's largest brawl, must have some considerable organizational skills, at the very least. When you try to get his attention, he seems initially to be very distracted and uninterested in what you have to say. Occasionally, he barks orders to underlings, or he'll grab someone in a betting circle by the lapels and then toss him to his large bouncers, who promptly kick the individual out, presumably for cheating, although you can't really tell how they have been doing it. Finally, he will wheel on you and say, "What? As you can see, I'm very, very busy."
Madam Fernot, did you want to go ahead and have the first blow here?
Well, then we'll be brief and to the point. We're looking for a stupid colonial.
You'll have to be more specific. Stupid colonials make up at least 70% of my business.
Here, you speak stupid colonial. I'll grab Gaston.
We're looking for the dumbest one, the one that probably lost a lot here earlier, a Captain Merriweather.
Again, we're going to have to narrow it down. So, I think it was, what was it again? Coyote, Dingo, what was it?
You guys don't actually know what he is. I think. Did you? I mean, you talked to a lot of the main wolves.
Capybara for a long while.
I know stupid colonial dog. By the way, dingoes are also an invasive species. It's kind of hilarious.
I feel like everything in Australia is an invasive species.
It's not a marsupial, it's a freaking invasive species. All the
right,
that kind of stuff.
Seems like a very, very volatile ecosystem over there.
There's a reason why they're extremely protectionist these days. But yeah, no, I guess you guys know what Merriweather looks like, right?
So
we've definitely talked with some good friends of his that he spent a lot of time with.
Yeah, so you guys dispose freely. I've never met the man.
He is a lion. Merriweather is a lion who apparently has a kind of booming voice and disposition, but
really,
by all
really
accounts is friendly. A really hairy one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, you definitely would recognize him for his loud, obnoxious voice.
The vole cracks a smile when you start to describe the captain, and he says, why, yes, I know the one you speak of. No one could forget. He made quite an impression here. That would have been about 4.5 weeks ago, was last I saw him. In fact, he confided in me some of his plans. This information, though, like all information in this town, doesn't come cheap. What do you have to barter?
Well, we certainly have coin for you, and we definitely have obsidian if that's something that might pique your interest. I have little knowledge of what's wanted around here, or if that's even something you would want. But we have the coin.
This is something that I just had. It has nothing to do with what's going on right now. I just want to know, does anyone here have danger sense? Completely unrelated, though, to this conversation.
I do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I knew at least one person did.
Okay, good.
Not me.
All right.
Those mirror that Abla has been making count as a cultural artifact?
In
this culture, they're seen as status symbols.
Yes. Then yeah, it would.
I have here a fine handmade weapon that is well known to the people here as being the mark of high status and high birth. And I present one to you as a gift.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, it is an import. Okay. So the Vol Lemuel will take it. This thing is large enough that he's got to hold it with like he probably just like props it on the ground. He's examining the thing. And he says, taps his chin a few times. I think we can work something out. He hands the killing weapon that you made to one of his big strong boys, and he says, "Would you come with me into my office, and he will lead you back to a private tent. It's considerably quieter in here. It's easier to talk. The only people in here are you, Lemuel, and we'll say like 8 large muscle-bound individuals.
One of
We'll
them
say
now
they're
very well armed.
all cattle and tigers, like 50-50 cattle and tigers. And one of them has a cultural artifact that is also a club. What was it again? I'm sorry, I should know this by now.
It's a mere MERE. I believe it's +3 weak 8th stone truncheon.
All right, and a truncheon is a club, right?
Yes. And it can also be used with the knockout strike gift to give you an extra D8 when you try to knock somebody out with it.
Nice. Mere club.
Made into a patu, but the patu is made of wood.
And yours are made of obsidian? Looks like the ones here look like they're made of jade. On the internet, that is.
Yeah. You can. I've seen them being made out of serpentinite as well. Any
Nice.
stone that can be easily ground away with a harder stone.
Also a stone that has the benefit of sounding made up, but not.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, so, in here, I think anybody with danger sense is going to tell that you are, in the midst of getting, you're going to get shook down. It's a shakedown. It's a whatever. It's quite clear now that this guy can tell that, you all have certain means, and that this is being conducted under the under the implication this is a business transaction. But yeah, they're gonna try to take you for everything you've got. It's basically like,
of course, it's not like we're carrying around all our money on us.
I feel like the Commodore wasn't paying attention before, but the shiver up the back of the spine, danger sense kicks in. He starts looking around. Now notices what's going on around him.
Takes up a fighting stance.
Oh no, not even that. I'll look at our little lemur friend here. Vol friend.
Vol, yep.
His name already lost.
I know.
Our little Vol friend says, I don't know how many you can bring. That's certainly not going to be enough.
Ooh, intimidation.
I will roll intimidation if you want.
Let's do it. Yeah. It's what, body presence.
Look, it's just gonna be body and my probably my personality, because I have no presence.
Do it.
You do still have will.
It's body, will, and presence.
We're gonna roll against the Vol here, who's gonna roll some d8s.
Well, I'll roll the body and will now, and
oh damn. Okay. Well, 7 is the number to beat.
Ah, damn it. Personality it is.
Personality it is. Okay.
I'm optimistic I could win a fight versus these 8 guys.
You got like a 30% chance.
Or
maybe 50. Tie.
It's a tie. Okay.
An assistance.
Is there something? Yeah. Is there something you can do? I guess you got people. He's also got people.
Well, Albert's looking into
in there. So. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a D8 for that. Well, I guess that's not a...
Or Abla is just scarier than you are. I don't know. How do we want to handle that?
Well, I'm the one talking, so I assume, even if it's one of those... in a comedy movie, where the guy's yelling at the mob that's running away, and he doesn't realize, with all the police forces behind him.
Yeah.
He thinks he's being intimidating.
Yep.
So Abla could just be standing intimidating in the back, while I say the words that are being effective.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I think it makes sense for the scene.
That could be a tiebreaker, basically.
Yeah. I'll give it. It's a close thing. So, yes. As you say this, there's a look of impending violence in the eyes of this tiny Vol, who's staring up at you again. It's locked eyes, but very different heights happening. But you can feel people tensing in the room, they're ready for the signal to throw themselves at you. And there's a moment of just electric eye contact, and then he laughs. Ha ha ha. Well, there's no need for that. Listen, we're here making a business transaction. I am a businessman, and I can tell so are you all, and I think we can help each other. So, what you want to know? Merryweather was here. He gambled away quite a lot of the of what he brought. However, his first mate seemed to have some sense in her head, and stopped him before he was completely tapped out. Quite a shame. I could have used a strong back like his in the auctions, but that's never mind. Anyway, the misguided captain came here on an expedition. He told me he was looking for a lost treasure. Rumors of it existed in Nagata, and I cautioned him against it personally. I figured I had more that I could get from him, and the desert sands are cruel to any travelers who head in that direction. Considering we haven't seen him for quite some time, I'd say it's an even chance. Either the sands took him, or he found what he was looking for, and, it wasn't quite what he expected. Grim chuckle, grim chuckle.
So you do not know if he's even left then?
No, his ship is still in the harbor. In fact, pretty soon the authorities plan to put it on auction if a representative of his does not return for it.
Lean into Cow. It's like, hey, chance at fourth ship.
I have to hire more crew.
So you buy and sell people, do you?
Here in Mandrita, we buy and sell everything.
Slowly, a hand starts going towards one of her weapons.
Gaston will just gently pat your shoulder, but he's definitely not going to stop you.
Interesting, okay.
What was the context of that?
Are we fighting?
Abla does not like slavers and is warming up to the idea of threatening with violence.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was confused. I thought you said that last bit out loud.
He did.
No, Gaston. I thought Griffin said his last bit. He's definitely not going to stop you, as though Gaston was saying.
Oh, I'm giving character information,
Yeah. I didn't
body
realize,
language and such.
I didn't realize you were saying, I'm not going to stop Abla. I thought you said it out loud. I was very confused.
Okay. Alright, so now we know. But yeah, reassuring pat on Abla's shoulder.
Okay. Raph, how does the madam feel? You're muted, by the way.
I know.
Because it looks like a fight is ready to break out here. You're good with this?
He has given us everything we needed to know, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching you guys like escalate this over. Like, I don't even know who this Merryweather asshole is. You're already ready to kill each other over this.
Oh no, she's ready to kill because this guy is selling people.
No, Abla's getting ready to.
Or is willing to.
Abla's getting ready to end slavery.
Kind of wanna, if I can get a chance to, Abla, could we have a word for a moment? It's kind of like we need to pick our battles. We can't just, unload here in the middle of this place.
We could fire our broadside as we're sailing away.
We need to pick our battles and deal with this like one at a time. I'm with you, but now is not the time. If you throw your life away now, we'll lose the bigger struggle.
She's still fuming, but the hand will move away from the hilt of her sword.
Can't believe I'm the voice of reason.
I know.
I mean, I built a combat character. If somebody else starts a fight, that's all aces for me.
Yeah, I built a combat character because I don't want to start a fight.
Right. No, I just mean any fight that the combat character, don't start is amazing.
I want to end the fight.
So while the Madame and Abla are reassuring each other for a moment,
so
I will try to get the information of where is his ship parked in the harbor.
Yeah, well, we just found out that his ship's up for auction, so he's not here. He's like absconded, right?
Right. I
Right,
imagine
but some of his crew might still be there.
I imagine he's left some of his crew, right? But
Right.
But
Well,
yeah.
now we gotta go find some of his crew. I mean, I'm sure it's been a couple months, so the only crew that would still be here would either be really, really bad because they can't get a job, or decided they'd rather get a job here, which could happen. I mean, we already saw with our last old man who said, I don't feel like getting killed in a ship. The other guy said, I'd love to get killed on a ship. I want to get killed the very next battle we get into.
exactly.
Well, we can definitely investigate that, but it is disclosed to us where his ship is, correct?
Right. Well, let's go check out his ship. I mean,
yeah, I'd say that you could probably. He might give you that information.
Was there anything else we needed to ask our the knife here?
The knife.
Well, just where he lives.
We know where he went. We know where his ship is. We know he hasn't left.
Well, no one's seen him leave. Look at how big this island is on scale. This is huge. He could be anywhere.
Yeah, just our travel alone to get here from Nagra was like what, 4 days by ship, and now we have to walk that distance.
Well,
It was
125
1 day by ship, I believe.
leagues.
if he's obsessed with those ruins, then yes. Yeah. First of all, if we're gonna do that, that would be 4 days into the wilderness and 4 days back plus change, so like 2 weeks.
Mhm.
That means we would have to leave the crew here for 2 weeks doing nothing.
There's nowhere closer that we could sail to by shore.
Well,
So we're gonna
Climb
say
the
that.
cliffs.
Yeah, that there's.
Well,
Yeah, but the cliffs would go all the
Palisades.
way.
Well, this
there
down here are
is-
mountains.
Yeah. Well, the ruins. Yeah. No, we could probably sail a bit closer. No, you're right. We could probably sail a bit closer with the dispatch because the dispatch is a shallow draft. So
We don't have the dispatch, but the Lawson's Folly is still very shallow.
Oh, we have a shallow draft boat?
Yes.
Okay, so we leave the fleet here. We take the shallow draft boat as close as we can get, and then hoof it after we get there. That sounds like a good plan. So yeah, but it also means we have to leave the crew here for about 2 weeks, which I guess morale is pretty good. I mean, we might lose some people, but that's okay. If we're gonna get new people, this would be the place to do it. So
well, it'll be about 100 people for 2 boats, hanging around for a few weeks. I think they'll probably live.
Yeah, just don't get in any trouble while we're gone. We tell them that because I mean, like look at. I mean, sure, they've probably got more brains than Abla here. They wouldn't just pick a fight with a random stranger.
So, but I guess to the temporal situation, we are still in the knife's tent, and I don't think he's wanting us to leave immediately.
Why can't let's just walk out?
Because that was what Red was saying earlier, right? So
Yeah, no, he wants
still on the
payment for this information, and he wants more than a really nice club.
Oh, well, let's give him some money.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what kind of price are you asking for then?
So the intimidation effect didn't.
I mean,
didn't
really,
counter
if you're
that?
not a negotiator, you don't give the information away.
The intimidation. Yeah, you did kind of tie with him. The intimidation prevented a fight from breaking out, or from him like mugging you. Essentially,
Abla's pushed it over that, didn't it?
Abla was looking like she was going to start a fight and then didn't.
Hold on,
No, Abla helped with that before.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
what
slavery.
you mean?
Give me a sec to throw in here because, like,
I guess no.
nobody wants to start. Nobody wants to start a fight. Well, I mean,
No, this isn't about when he came up with the guys to say that I want money for this information. That's when we did the intimidation thing, which we won.
Right? Yeah, he was going to mug you.
Which we won.
Okay.
So
we should be able to get out of this without having to pay him, which for me is an issue of face. We don't get intimidated or shook down. We are the masters of our own fate.
Let me throw in on the intimidation front because I can actually be pretty scary too. Maybe I can assist and boost this out of a.
Well, it's already Abla already assisted.
Abla already assisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already won the intimidation.
Yeah.
That's why
I gave you guys the intimidation one.
That's why I'm leaning back towards we shouldn't pay him now because we've intimidated him out of it.
That's true.
Then that'll be our statement.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
I would suggest that we would leave it saying that let's just say that we owe you one, and you can cash that in later.
I mean, that works too. Yeah. I mean, the thing was, he kind of did give up the information. I'll say he has more information that he says would be very valuable to you, but it's going to come with a price. But if you want to leave with what you have now, that's fine. He'll let you go without causing a fuss.
Guys, I think we should pay him. If he's got more information, I think we should just pay him some money. He came all this way.
Well, what price are you putting for your information? For the valuable stuff.
The valuable stuff. Yeah. He'll say like, well, he's a big spender and he deals with like a trading den, and you guys are traders. You're dealing in like multiple thousands of dinar. He'll say for like, wow, 500 denarii. Is that too much to ask for?
We did just buy a ton of cargo for 500.
Yeah, right.
Denarii would be 1 ton of average goods.
Yeah, so that would be, you could spend that on some privileged information, right?
How much gold do we have?
6,500.
Okay, yeah.
You wouldn't even feel that. Okay.
Right.
We still will technically feel it.
Yeah, in other words, we'll give him a fifth of a ton of gold. So, we'll give him.
We also just have a trade good of a ton of gold and silver as well.
Yeah. We'll 30 stone of gold. Tell us what it is.
Okay. All right. So, he says that the captain was looking for a treasure. That in Inagara there is a specific hidden grotto that is a sacred holy site to a tribe of nomads that live in the desert. And that in this holy site, it is rumored that there is an enormous treasure trove, that many colonials have come this way and died trying to find this treasure, and that the amassed accumulation of all of it, whether or not the treasure exists, the accumulation of all of these failed expeditions is down there. He seemed particularly keen on that information as well. And so
we can be the first to get the money.
Yeah, you can be the first to get the money. He says, I also happen to have charts. The desert is perilous, even if you know where you're going, and most people don't even know that much. But I happen to have charts that will navigate you there, and that's what your money has bought you, right?
Well,
so
bring your charts to the harbor. We'll give you the gold. Now, one of the things you have to worry about is, even though we have vast fortunes, I'm going to be so corporate with this. Technically, that money belongs to the pirate company. Like, everyone who's on the boat gets a share of the money when we close out or whatever. They get a share of that. So when we say, "Oh, we'll give you, 500 worth of gold," everyone else back on the ship, if they heard about this, said, "You gave some random loser 500 of our gold," but we're not going to tell them that.
By the way,
right.
I'm
the only one who could do accounting anyway.
Some of the joys I love playing with Raph is, I'm going to spend all of our money. Now, let me tell you why that's a bad idea.
Well, to me, the story is more interesting when things have consequences. I mean, in other words, I'm kind of weird. I enjoy the game when my decisions have consequences. So if I just say I do something and it doesn't have any consequences later, that bums me out, because it was like, I did whatever I wanted. So on the one hand, yes, I think we should pay him. On the other hand, when the crew watches us transfer this over, the crew might ask us, why are you doing this? We didn't have complicated morale rules built into the book because only Rafferty likes that kind of misery, I guess.
But I do is tell them that we're getting more gold out of it.
If this doesn't pay off, the crew might get upset. So, we need to make sure if I'm just mentioning, like, this is expensive, but you guys said this is part of the mission. The crew want a payout. So if we make the crew sit here for 2 weeks while we go on some treasure hunt, if we come back with nothing after spending 500 gold, we might have a morale problem.
So what I was thinking, honestly, because we just mentioned too that that you might lose some crew over the course of this expedition. I was thinking of giving you guys like a leadership role, and then using that as the basis to see how many people stick around by the time you get back. What I might do.
At least we have good dealings with the knife, and he lets us go because we've just paid him a lot for these charts.
Right, and so before we leave in our expedition, give the crew a pep talk. Commodore, do you want to do that, or do you want me to do that?
Well, so I was thinking, you were talking about the consequences for this thing. I'll introduce a difficulty die for that. If the crew sees that you guys are paying a not inconsiderable amount of gold to this guy for these charts that, like you said, would introduce like a D8 difficulty die to this roll.
Yeah. So, well, like I said, boss, do you want to do the pep talk?
I'll do it since I'm in charge, but can you assist me?
I would be happy to assist you. I know what these people are like.
Be the voice whispering in my ear.
You're like the first mate.
Right. Well, I mean, advise you like when you like before you speak to the grow, say, okay, but look, these guys are looking for this guy looking at that, trying to emphasize the rewards, that kind of stuff. You definitely get a D8 bonus from me.
Or I give the speech and I'm floundering and you just correct me every time and I correct myself.
Well, also another way of assisting you is I round everybody up, and we can do good Rue, bad devil,
Remind me, is it mind or is it will? I forget.
I'm sorry. I think it's Will.
I like that comment from Gustavo. We'll be rich. So everybody shut the hell up. You're all going to get paid. You're going to get lots of money.
Were you a team player or no?
I'm not a team. What are you? A team player?
2 successes.
You know who the colonial... Well, I'm going to roll this, but it looks like that 7 will probably do it. Let's see. Difficulty die of a D8 for the trade is a 5. And that is still 2 successes. Very good. Very good.
I should be a team.
I would assume somebody is.
Team playing is a colonial thing.
Player. I should be a team player because because of legality, but I'm fighting my internal impulse.
Also, I appreciated that it was the aid die, which is the only one that failed me. So I was able to get by on my own merits.
There you go. Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's 2 successes. So what I was figuring was 3 successes, you wouldn't lose anybody. 2 successes, you'd lose like 10% of your crew. 1 success, it would be 25. No successes, it'd be 50%. That would be extreme. But 10% for the course of this next adventure. When you come back, will have moved on, set up shop, maybe joined up with another crew. I actually don't know how many people we're sitting on right now. You said like we have about 100?
For all of our crews, like 130. If we're going to be taking the Lawson's Folly out, then about 30 of those are probably coming with us.
Do we still have the Lawson's Folly?
Yes.
I thought you guys lost that to. No, Lawson's Folly. I was thinking about the Righteous Indignation. No, the Folly is still with you. Okay, so yeah, so you'll lose like 13 crew by the time you get back from your expedition, which is easily replaceable. But that's something I'll make a note of because we're not there yet. In fact, we might not be there for many days now.
It's about halfway through. Do we want to take our normal break time?
Yeah, let's do the break and then we go and hoof it to Inaugura.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, be back in a bit.
See you guys in a bit.